Today we are making a lobster cream cheese stuffed mushrooms. You probably see these in smaller versions in Asian buffets, but we're gonna use lobster, real lobster. Usually in those they use imitation crab, which you can use totally, but I have lobster, so why not use them? And now I want to take out the middle part, so I'm just gonna make a slight gentle incision. So squeeze and rip out. Some people do take out that dark brown part, but I'm just gonna leave it in there. It's fine. Some people do take out that dark brown part, but I'm just gonna leave it in there. It's fine. And again on the other ones, mushrooms are peeled. Here are my lobster tails, cleaned, washed. Now we want to cook these together, because if you first cook the lobster and then cook it again inside the mushroom, it's gonna get dry. Most YouTube videos on cooking lobster are gonna tell you that you need a kitchen scissors. Honestly, I'm doing regular scissors and it works just fine. The one thing you have to pay attention to is these little shell bits. Make sure to clean it out, but because we're not baking it inside the shell, I'm gonna take it out. I'll be able to see it anyways. Now this is the painful part, because it is painful when you put your finger in there. You have to fish it out. See? Nice. It is a little painful. So we want this beautiful lobster out of its shell. Kind of have to go in there with your finger and how would I say it? Pull it away from the skin. As you can see, it's kind of like lodged into its shell. All right, let's see. See, there's little pieces here. We can wash that off easy. That little piece. I'm just gonna give it a good rinse, and then that should fix it. So here's my two lobsters. Now I'm gonna chop these up. I could put it in a blender, but I kind of want that lobster texture to be in it, because sometimes the blender can go pretty hard and basically turn it into a paste. So first I'm cutting just little pieces, and then I'm gonna chop it even more. As well as you can, tiny little pieces. That's one. So you see, it's still little pieces, but it's not a paste. I'm gonna put it in a bowl and then chop the next one. Here's my lobster. I'm gonna add about half teaspoon of salt. I have the tendency to oversalt it when I don't measure. Smoked paprika, like 2-3 dashes. You can also use Cajun spicing if you have pre-mixed at home. Black pepper. And gonna mash in 1 single clove of garlic. I used to add 3-4 to my lobster, but I noticed that it just hides the flavor of the lobster, so it really needs just a tiny hint of garlic. And also I've noticed that if you put too much garlic with lobster, it will make it bitter. So it's really good to practice cooking and see what goes together with what and how much. Once I add the next ingredient, we can taste it a little bit, see if it's salty enough, because you can always add salt. You can never take away. Here I have a room temperature cream cheese. Now I totally forgot about the cream cheese, so here's a tip how to turn your cold cream cheese into room temperature pretty quickly. Put it in your pocket. Put it in your pocket. Of this, I'm gonna add half of it, half of this cream cheese. I want the lobster to shine. If you add too much, it's gonna be runny. So we're just adding half of it. The other half you can whip it up with heavy cream and eat it with pancakes. Okay, now blend all of this together because it's it's kind of slimy. It doesn't really want to blend, but just give it some elbow grease in there and try your best. Eventually it will all come together. I like to kind of push it down. And this has come together very nicely. This is gonna be my filling. As you can tell, the difference between this and the ones you get in buffets, this is much more focused on the meat filling instead of the cream filling. Now I'm gonna prepare the mushrooms. Here I have my baking sheet with parchment paper. I don't have a silicone that fits this pan because I'm using the Breville convention oven. So first I have avocado spray. I'm just gonna lightly spray it. Okay, wait. Okay, nice. And I put the mushrooms on here. Cute. Leave a little space in between so the heat can travel. And again, spray these with a little bit of oil. Just a little bit. Salt on each. The oil also gonna help the salt to stick to it. Now we're gonna do the filling. It's the most exciting part. Try to aim in the very center and then push down to make sure everything gets in there. This smells so good. Make it look nice and plump. Help with your finger. So cute. Honestly, I'm so excited to eat it. And now you can preheat the oven. I would say put it to, if you have a convention oven, like the Breville, the little ones, put it to 345 because it's pretty strong, and put it for 50 minutes. If you are using a regular oven, put it to 370, and again for 50 minutes, because in the little one, it burns kind of easy. And we do not want that. We want the mushrooms to cook nicely. Okay, these are done. And look at that. Done. Now I have this pecorino romano cheese from Costco. You can use any white cheese, maybe a little bit of cheddar to put it on top. We're gonna put a little bit on the top. Just a tiny bit. It's gonna give it a nice little kick. And also a little bit of breadcrumbs. I have homemade breadcrumbs, which is basically just any white bread you let dry and then smush it together. Breadcrumb and this one. All right, and it's ready to go into the oven when it's heated up. If you want to give it a little bit of color, a tiny dash of smoked paprika on the top. Oh, just a little bit. That's good. Very, make it pretty. Nice. Going in. These are done. Look at that, so beautiful. That little hint of smoked paprika on top was a great idea. Let's cut it open. It is pretty hot still. And because I didn't use a lot of cream cheese, the cream cheese did not run, because sometimes when you bake with cream cheese, it will run. And I don't like that. So this is mainly filling. Let's see. Beautiful. You can still see some of the cream cheese. All this liquid is coming from the mushroom. Beautiful. Look at all the filling. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Yo, it smells absolutely incredible. Let me get a little taste. Yeah, because I only used 1 clove of garlic. The flavor of the lobster is really coming out. It's shining. It's the star. Delicious. But I'm not like a big fan of how much liquid that's coming out of the mushrooms, just because it's so big. So I think I'm just gonna continue doing the traditional regular size mushrooms, but this is absolutely perfect and so much tastier than from the buffet, because this is focusing on the filling, not just mainly the cream cheese. And it makes a big difference when you use lobster instead of imitation crab. It's delicious. It's pretty quick to make, but it's not like a whole lot of difference in flavor between real lobster and imitation crab. This is absolutely perfect. It tastes so good. There's nothing bad I can say about this. It's perfect. It just my mushrooms are a little bit too big, but it's still delicious, and 2 per person is plenty enough, because look at the filling. It's so much. It's amazing. I love it. It's so good, so easy to make, so yummy. I'm gonna go eat. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you have the chance, try this at home.